Tiger, just get some opening comments about being back in Boston for the first time and back in the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been back, and looking forward to getting out there. I know they made a few changes last time I played, and really looking forward to getting out there. I know I've really played well on this golf course over the years, and hopefully it'll be one of those weeks again.
What is it about this course that suits your eye?
Well, I think that in general it sets up for a guy who hits it long and high, and I've done that pretty much my whole career. So it's just one of those, especially when this golf course gets firm and the greens get hard, then the high ball here certainly have an advantage, and that's been one of my trademarks over my career.
Tiger, how busy have you been over the last few days since we saw you in New Jersey?
Golf-wise?
Golf-wise and soccer-wise and homework-wise?
I've just been with the kids and with them, doing all their after-school curriculum and all those activities. So I really haven't done much golf.
Tiger, it's rare that you've had to sort of look at projections in this playoff series. You're usually way up top in the past. Are you at all watching the projections and trying to map out a plan to get you to Atlanta?
Yeah, I saw that. Even though I thought I played well last week. I fell in places. So some of the guys who skipped last week, might have been a smart move. Whether it's Rory or Henrik. Ricky had a different reason why he did it, but it's a long stretch. If you have the Ryder Cup on the backside for either the Europeans or the Americans, if one of the international guys, you're probably not going to skip. You're probably going to play all these because you have a break. You don't have to travel to Paris to play another event. So it's different philosophy for the Americans versus the Europeans. What they're trying to do is try and get through this, and as well as be ready for the Ryder Cup.
Tiger, it's been 22 years since Hello World and GMO. Does it seem like that long, or does it seem like it's kind of flown by faster than you might have thought?
Well, the last few years seemed like it took like centuries. I was struggling a bit. So, but just looking back on it, I remember so many shots from my early start at either Milwaukee or it's Quad Cities, Canada, BC. I remember all that, but hard to believe it's been 22 years since then. And it has gone by more fast than I would have imagined. When I first turned pro, I felt like I was going to be out here for I would never get to at the time the senior tour.
Tiger.
So I had 30 more years. I had 3 decades to go. Now I was only 8 years away.
Tiger, you've given yourself actually a good problem by playing so well, but when you're looking at long term, how important is making it to the Tour Championship this year when it's created such a concentrated playing schedule for yourself with Ryder Cup? Like, would it be the worst thing if you do have one of these next weeks off?
Well, I know.
How important is it?
Well, I'm guaranteed a week off either case.
Right.
So it's taking advantage of that week. And I know that, my golf is not going to be much, if anything, post-Ryder Cup. And not just myself, but for a lot of guys, we're just pushing it to that point and then shutting it down. And just trying to get to that point so that, when I shut it down, I'll be able to shut it down.
Tiger, how difficult or different has it been to kind of manage that this year compared to other years, not just physically, but kind of mentally for you as well, especially being in contention a couple times along the way?
The hardest part is I didn't have any inkling of what this year might be. Normally if I have a good off season or good practice, or feel healthy, I can reasonably expect what might happen the following year. This year was a complete unknown. I didn't know if I was going to play. Didn't know how many events I was going to play. Again, what swing I was going to use. I didn't know any of these things, and a lot of them have been adjustments on the fly. Adding an event. Basically, I've added 2 events throughout the year. One being at Valspar and one the Bridgestone. And so those are nice options to have. Because going in the beginning of the year, going into this year, I I had no clue what was going to transpire. So it's been all positive.
Tiger, you've always appreciated competition. Obviously, you want to win, but do you have a new level of appreciation for your game, what you've built up this season from where you started this year?
Yeah, this has been one of my best years, considering that I didn't know what I was going to do. I just didn't have a clue, and the fact that I've been able to make it this far is very exciting to me. I have a bright future ahead of me, because at this point last year that wasn't the case. Didn't know, but now I know that I sort of have a bright future.
Tiger, since we're in New England, I just wanted to ask about it. I spoke to a man whose house you and your father stayed at about 25 years ago. He said you were playing in a junior tournament, you got sick with mono, and you were basically stuck in his guest room for about a week. Do you remember anything about that, and would you mind sharing anything you remember about that?
I remember I had mono at the Northeast Amateur, so whatever that was over at Wanamoysid. Other than that, I struggled. I remember getting back to California, and I really had a hard time with the U.S. Junior. Even though I got to the finals, ended up winning the finals, I slept in between each match up in the clubhouse. I was just sick, I was just tired, I didn't have any energy, and it was just anything I could do to get rest. I didn't really warm up, just went out and played the afternoon match. Went home and crashed, and then woke up and hardly warmed up for the morning session. So even whenever I had models, it was not a lot of fun.
Tiger, how much do you remember about that first FedEx Cup battle with Phil here in '07? And are you going to be sad next year when this isn't a stop on the circuit?
This has been a regular, staple for us. I mean, our foundation was a part of this event. Jay was our tournament director, and so we've had Seth Wallace coming back to golf, and he ran Deutsche Bank at that time, and so it has a lot of fond memories for us. And that battle with Phil was a lot of fun, even though I didn't come out on the good side of it. We had some battles there through that front nine, back nine, but I think we both made birdie at 16, and that was kind of the turning point, because I was still trailing at the time. I needed a make-miss there to get any kind of momentum with the last two.
Did you putting work last week, or did you just kind of put it behind you?
Say again?
Did you do much putting work over the past couple of days, or just kind of put it
I putted for a little bit. I mean, not a lot. More than anything was just getting rest, doing my lifts, and then driving the car a lot.
Before you had kids, how would you have responded from a putting week like that?
Oh, before I had kids, I didn't have these injuries, so yeah, I'd be running probably 6 to 10 miles a day, doing 2 lifts, practicing probably 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, that was pre-injuries.
Tiger, given
being back in the ring,
They had a different body.
Tiger, given your recent injury,
Say again?
What do you think about having no tournament here next year?
Well, at least we have a future. I know it's alternating, but at least we're coming back. This has been the people here always supported this event. I mean, they come out in droves and they're loud, and it's been fun. I've had some nice runs here where I've played well, and they've gotten into it. You can hear roars go up around this golf course. I know it's a little spread out, but you can hear the echoes, which is really neat. And it's a shame that we're not coming here annually, but biennial's not bad.
Tiger.
You're only committed for one more time.
I know, but still, it's better than nothing.
Tiger.
You've always been credited, and will always be credited, for raising the bar in this game. And now with this new body of yours, and you sort of say you're going back to those old ways and the positive things you've done in the past, how important is it now to sort of try and find that? I know you're trying to find that competitive edge that would distance you from all these young guys who play with at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is for me is just to keep getting there in the mix, keep getting there on that back nine with a chance to win. I responded well at Valspar. I made a mistake there at Bay Hill and Players, even at the Open Championship, but learned from those and really did well at the PGA. So it's just a matter of giving myself enough opportunities. I'm not going to win them all, but in order to win them, you got to be there. And I've been there enough this year, and obviously want more of it.
Tiger, yesterday Bryson talked about how he'd love to pair up with you at the Ryder Cup, and I know you touched on that a little bit last week. Do you remember the first time you met him? And secondly, what do you think about his game? Why do you think you guys would be a
the practice rounds this year, and got to know him a little bit. Talked to him at the Ryder Cup back in '16 at Oakland Hills. At Hazeltine. He was riding a cart with us for a little bit. We gave him a little see how smart he is. You know, what are our odds or percentages of X and X? You know, if we put this pair, if we win this session, what are the odds of us winning? And he said, "Give me a half a hole," and he came back with the answer. So that's one of my recollections of Bryson. But he and I playing together would be fantastic. He's competitive. He's fiery. He's got all the things you want when you play a team match. I know that we think about the game completely differently. You know, I'm very much a feel-oriented guy, and he's very much a numbers guy. But for some reason, we get along great, and we work. I understand what he's saying, and he understands what I'm saying, and that's been fun.
Tiger, given your recent injury history, your competitive fire is still in full effect. At this point of your career, obviously the majors are over, but is it more about winning majors, or is it really just about enjoying being on the course?
It's both. It's about enjoying being back, enjoying being able to play golf again, and now compete at this level. I would have taken this in a heartbeat and said that you have a chance to win 2 major championships, and you're going to be in the playoffs, and you know, you're right there to be on the Ryder Cup team. You know, all of these things at the beginning of the year were all unknowns, and so it's been as I said, it's been one of my best years as a whole.
What was Ryder playing a practice round at Paris here at firefighter at the Masters?
He was great. He was super nice. He and his dad were talking about, you know, what they do for a living, and have, you know, they're on call. We're also looking at, you know, their shifts, how many days on, how many days off, and you know, he took the summer to play golf and enjoy it. And hats off to him. I mean, he puts his life on the line for his community, and I think that he's earned the right to go out and play a little golf this summer and enjoy it.
Last question,
talk about unknown. Your body is new, everything is new. Do you still use in the fields of the past, or you step in unknown for the fields emotionally?
No, I trust my hands, and I always have. My hands have always been, you know, the thing that I've always trusted the most, and that stems from baseball. Playing so much baseball, you know, your hands are everything. Obviously, your body follows, but you do everything with your hands. So, I've been one have I worked on different body parts and different positions in the golf swing? Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's about what my hands are doing.
Tiger,
Perfect.
Tom
Thanks,
Brady's
Tiger.
41, you're 40.